Afternoon. The July 10th, 2025 regular board meeting of the City Colleges of Chicago is now called to order. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will the chief advisor please call the roll? Present.
Present.
Secretary Lee, she's participating on Zoom. Not yet, okay. Trustee Sanchez,
Present.
Trustee Hightower,
Present.
Trustee Meringue Patterson,
Present.
Student Trustee Gundan.
Present.
Let the record show that in accordance with the Illinois Public Community College Act and the Illinois Open Meetings Act, we have a quorum. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the regular board meeting for July 2025. Thank you, President Lopez, for hosting our meeting and for you all for joining us today. Secretary Lee is participating by Zoom today. This is allowable under our board bylaws, Article 1.5.3, Sections 8 through C, provided there is quorum in the room. As the chief advisor has just noted, we do have quorum today. I would like to divert from the standard order of proceedings and ask for consideration of Resolution 1.09, which is the election of officers. Now, with leave of the body, I'd like to take Resolution 1.09 out of order. Each year, the board is required to elect officers. Trustee Sanchez, please proceed.
Section 1.4.2 of our board bylaws calls for an annual election to fill the offices of chair, vice chair, and secretary. I would like to nominate Katia Nuquez to continue to serve as board chair, Marshall H. Hatch, Sr. to continue to serve as board vice chair, and Princella Jarabu Lee to continue to serve as board secretary.
Thank you, Trustee Sanchez. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a second on the nominations as proposed?
Second.
The motion having been properly made.
Chair, the second has to be Trustee Hightower,
That's right.
Second.
and the motion was Trustee Sanchez. Okay. I hereby declare the nominations closed.
Okay, I hereby declare the nominations closed. I would now ask the chief advisor to read Resolution 1.09 into the record.
Whereas Section 1.4.2 of the Board Bylaws of the City Colleges of Chicago provides for an annual election to fill the board offices of chair, vice chair, and secretary. Whereas the names of Katia Nuquez, Marshall E. Hatch Sr., and Princella Jarabu Lee were placed in nomination. And whereas the nominations were moved and second, and there being no further nominations, the nominations were declared closed. And whereas the motion for election of Katia Nuquez as chair, Marshall E. Hatch Sr. as vice chair, and Princella Jarabu Lee as secretary of the board was approved by a voice vote. Now therefore be it resolved that the following members of the Board of Trustees are hereby elected as board officers in accordance with the policies of the board. Chair, Katia Nuquez. Vice Chair, Marshall E. Hatch Sr. Secretary, Princella Jarabu Lee. July 13th, 2025.
Thank you. Trustee Sanchez?
I move for the approval of Resolution 1.09.
Is there a second?
Second.
Chief advisor, please call the roll on Resolution 1.09.
Chair Nuquez,
Approved.
Vice Chair Hatch,
Approved.
Secretary Lee, she's on Zoom. Trustee Sanchez,
Approve.
Trustee Hightower,
Approve.
Trustee Miranda Patterson.
Approve.
Student trustee Diguna.
Approved.
Thank you. Let the record reflect the election of officers and Resolution 1.09, which has been approved. Thank you all. As we celebrated Independence Day on July 4th, we also acknowledge other celebrations such as Disability Pride Month and National Minority Mental Health Awareness. Thank you, trustees, chancellor, and senior staff for your attendance at our board retreat in June. I would also like to acknowledge and congratulate Chancellor Salgado on being recognized and receiving the North Star Award for being a powerful advocate for boys and young men of color. That concludes my remarks for today. Student trustee DeGanon, please proceed with your report.
First, thanks to Chair Nuquez for giving me the opportunity to share this update with you today. So, summer classes have officially started at city colleges. Students are back on campus and actively working toward their goals. The faculty and staff have put in a lot of effort to make sure everything is running smoothly, and the feedback so far has been positive. We also had a lot of events lately on campuses, tabling and promoting resources that we have on campus. We want to send our condolences to Malcolm X College President Sanders following the passing of his mother. This is a difficult time, and our thoughts are with him and his family. Saturday, June 14, was the UNCF Gala, and it was a real success. The event had a strong attendance and great support from the community. It helped raise important funds for students and highlighted the ongoing commitment to education and opportunity. That wraps up my report for today. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, student trustee DeGanon. Chancellor Salgado, please proceed with your report.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you again to President Lopez and Harold Washington for hosting us today. July is, as the chair mentioned, Disability Pride Month, and July was chosen in part to commemorate the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act on July 26, 1990. We want to recognize the accomplishments of people with disabilities across our country, our city, and especially here at City Colleges of Chicago. Please join us in our outstanding disability access teams across the district in honoring this important part of our community. During the committee meeting today that concluded earlier, we were fortunate to hear from CFO Rodriguez about the FY26 budget that the board will consider today. I want to thank the many people who played a role in preparing this balanced budget and ensuring we are able to continue to make investments in our students, faculty, and staff. From the finance team to the college teams to the college presidents to staff all across the district, thank you so much. Producing a budget is quite a bit of work on the part of many people, and we really thank everyone for their efforts. We should be proud of that this budget continues to make significant investments that strengthen our institution and support our students. This budget invests in faculty and infrastructure to grow high-demand programs in fast-growing fields, like growing our nursing program at Kennedy King College and engineering programs in several colleges, construction technology, and more. We are investing in strategies that are making impact, like mandatory new student academic advising, strategic year-long scheduling, and our partnership with 1 Million Degrees. This budget ensures we continue our successful work with Chicago Public Schools on the Chicago Roadmap, which has become a national model of K-12 community college partnerships, in which we have now expanded to include our first transfer partner, UIC. Our transfer work overall continues to grow with other partners like CSU, Chicago State University as well. We've already seen a 118% increase in transfer applications to Chicago State University year over year, and a 32% increase at UIC. That means we're keeping more of our students potentially here in Chicago at home. at our public institutions. We're very proud of that. We've doubled down to remove every barrier standing in the way of our students' success. We know our students face real pressures that are likely only to become more difficult given the cuts to SNAP and Medicaid at the federal level. We are prepared to stand in the gap for our students as much as we possibly can. This means funding our full complement of student supports, including advisors, tutors, career and transfer centers, undocumented student liaisons, maintaining our historic 20% increase in wellness staff, and significantly growing our investment in student basic needs with our Food Security for Life pilot, food pantries, housing partnerships with DePaul USA, among other critical student supports. This budget also invests to maintain our affordability and our strong enrollment growth. Enrollment at 73,000 students annually now exceeds pre-pandemic levels. This budget delivers on our commitment to faculty and staff in our labor contracts and maintains a strategic capital program. This budget also sustains our long-standing commitment to adult education. We will offer a full suite of adult education programs and supports again this year. And now I want to make sure everyone is aware, I am keenly aware, that the federal government has frozen funds for adult education. Let me repeat, we remain committed to our plan to offer a full suite of adult education programs regardless of the freeze. In fact, let me just reiterate once more that even if the federal government were to eliminate those funds, we remain firmly committed to our investment in adult education. I've said this now, I've said this many times before. I think it's important for all of our stakeholders to understand where our vision and where our values lie. And we have demonstrated this commitment time and again. Let me remind you that during the pandemic, while some other community colleges suspended their adult education programs, we shifted our courses online. We moved our registration process online. We paid our adult educators during the process. We made sure our educators and students received Chromebooks and Wi-Fi hotspots if they needed them. During that pandemic, when we were given the flexibility to provide federal dollars directly to students, and at first, we were limited to only credit students, but then new administration came in and gave us the flexibility to offer it to a wider range of students. Well, guess what? We took that flexibility and we offered it not just to our credit students, but we offered that direct financial student support to our adult education students as well. And I must say that we were among a more limited set of colleges that extended that support to adult education students. And so, I was pleased to hear of, and I do want to extend my condolences as well to President Sanders and his family during this very trying time. I did not attend the, I did attend the wake to pay my respects to his mother. I did not attend the adult education ceremony because it was my father's birthday, and I too lost my father last year. But I heard wonderful reports about the graduation ceremony, and I want you to know that we have put together a ceremony for our adult education students that is similar to our credit ceremony. You know, this is something that was deeply important to us here at City Colleges that we were not doing, where all of our college communities and all of our graduates can come together and celebrate in a nice place with a great ambiance where families can come and we can have all the pomp and circumstance and all the celebration that is merited to our adult education students. So this event takes place in its own dedicated space now at the UIC Forum in front of families and friends. And this year, we had more than 500 students earn their Illinois high school diploma, one of 100 of those students are already taking college credit courses and are on the path to earning their career. And so this budget reflects our values. This budget focuses on our strategic plan. And let me just say, there's nothing more important right now than serving our students well and ensuring all of our students feel safe and supported. I do want to extend, because I was speaking quite extensively about adult education, thank you to the adult education team led by our very capable leader, Luis Narvaez, but also all the administrators, all the faculty, all the staff. As I said, our commitment to adult education remains strong. One other thing I want to point out, which is really good news. Our Chicago Roadmap and college enrollment teams did amazing work to close out the year, okay, the fiscal year, and particularly in the months of April and May, and this wrapping up in June. And let me just tell you that, and Dr. Peggy Corrales is now interim president at Daly College, so congratulations to you. This isn't new for you, by the way. Dr. Corrales served as an acting president at Truman College. She's also served as a interim president here at Harold Washington College, and is now in that role at Daly College. But as many of you know, she leads the Chicago Roadmap work that we do with the public schools. And you know, sometime back, I don't know when it was, in December or January or something like that, I said to her, you know, that great thing that you guys did last year of bringing in 1,000 public school students and getting 800 of the 1,000 to actually enroll, 500 enrolled, you know, this is last year, not this year, but 500 enrolled right away, and then another 300 enrolled by the time we got to August. I said, your reward for the 1,000 and the success with the 1,000 is we want to do 4,000. and she said, 4,000? How are we going to do that? But the creativity, right, that comes when you have a new opportunity, you know, in front of you. And the opportunity is that, you know, there are 8,000 students that graduate from the Chicago Public Schools roughly every year that don't end up in post-secondary education, and we know it's the good thing for them. And when May hits, they don't actually have a destination. And if they don't have a destination by May, you know, their likelihood of having a destination by August is not very high. So this is our chance to engage them in April and May. And so we went all out, and we did these enrollment days once again with the goal of reaching 4,000. And that was a pretty big stretch goal. And I just got to tell you, the team, you know, far surpassed the outcomes. 3,365 CPS high schoolers attended either enrollment days or the events that we set up leading up to it. The way this thing happened is we had to actually go to some schools rather than have them come, because, you know, we had to figure this out, right, with the schools at the end of the day. But we did. And let me just tell you that during the months of April and May, 1,840 students of the 3,365 actually enrolled. That's 3 times more attendees than last year. It's 3.5 times more enrollees than this time last year. And guess what? The summer is still going. So by the time we get to August, that number is only going to go up. Okay? So, you know, so just kudos. By the way, the students who attended represented 136 districts, you know, CPS district, charter, and option high schools across the city. So, you know, we were just about everywhere, right? City colleges in these schools. And Vice Chair Hatch, you're going to love this last part.
Tell it to me.
The strongest representation from schools on the west side of the city. Isn't that something? So anyhow, you know, look, we're not just doing that, by the way. We're helping contribute to the city's effort to keep our community safe, I want to really thank, Vice Chair Jen Mason, the community outreach team, Nate Ward, who does tremendous work for us, as well as our legal and communication staff. We have been hosting, and the teams at Malcolm X and Kenny King and Truman and, those colleges that have been tapped to provide and hosting of late-night basketball events that are happening on the weekends, that are led by the mayor's office. But make no mistake about it, we're a critical partner here. To get, all of our team there, security, Milton Owens, who leads our security, personally taking those weekends, Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July weekend, these really important weekends, and saying, I will be there, I will ensure the safety, I will make sure things go extremely well. And they have, and so, we're just, we're beaming with pride at the contributions we're making as a City Colleges of Chicago to, our city as a whole, okay? So with that, wish everybody a continued great summer, okay?
Thank you, Chancellor Salgado. We have a request for public participation today. When your name is called, please proceed to the podium where you will have up to 3 minutes to make remarks on the subject that you indicated in your communication to the board office. The chief advisor will notify you when you've used the 3 minutes of your time, and we ask that you kindly bring your remarks to a close. As you register, you were reminded of our procedures with regards to the nature of your comments, and I would ask you to respect and adhere to that direction and the time requirement. Chief Advisor, please proceed with the speakers.
Thank you, Chair. Jim Perez.
Good afternoon. I began teaching at City Colleges in 2017. Since then, the cost of living, fueled by inflation, COVID, tariffs, has outpaced my wages by 23%. In real buying power, my dollar buys 77 cents today compared to 2017. The average salary of a clock adjunct is $13,604 per year, well below the poverty rate. Because the pay is low and we receive no health benefits, approximately 250 clock adjuncts qualify for SNAP and Medicaid. Yes, just like Walmart, City Colleges of Chicago relies on the federal government to subsidize the health care and nutrition of its employees. With the passage of Trump's big, beautiful bill, anywhere from 25 to 65 clock adjuncts will lose their SNAP and Medicaid benefits. Because clock adjuncts are not paid a living wage, losing these benefits means adjuncts on and off public aid will face food insecurity and housing insecurity on a daily basis. They will be forced to choose between eating or filling a prescription. They will be forced to choose between paying rent or having surgery. Board actions, your inactions, have real-life consequences for real people. The real people who work for you. Food insecurity, housing insecurity, illness, early death. The next time you have dinner at a restaurant, think about the adjunct in the checkout line, putting items back because they can't afford them. The next time you open the door of your cozy house, think about the adjunct who comes home to an eviction notice. The next time you drive your secure automobile, think about the adjunct getting on the 95th Street Red Line after teaching a late-night class, hoping they make it home safely one more time. Not paying adjuncts a living wage is a death sentence. A death sentence that takes its toll slowly on someone's father, someone's mother,
Thank you,
someone's
your time is
sister,
up.
someone's brother, someone like yours.
John Harris. Michael Bass. Michael Bass. Kimberly Taylor.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Kimberly Taylor, and for the past 15 years, I've had the honor of serving as an adult educator at Truman College. I've dedicated my career to helping students discover their potential, pursue their goals, and overcome challenges. It's been the most rewarding work of my life. But today, I come to you not just as an educator, but as someone who has been quietly carrying the weight of an administrative era that has affected not just my paycheck, but my dignity. You see, in 2016, I discovered that my official employment start date had been changed from December 10 of 2010 to July 1st of 2011. That's not just a clerical mistake. It moved me into a different fiscal year. It delayed all of my step increases by 1 full year. For nearly a decade, I've been compensated as if I had 1 year less experience and service than I've actually given. Based on a careful review of my pay records, this era has cost me roughly $8,000 in wages. Yes, $8,000. That's not just a number on a spreadsheet. That's a tuition I could have saved for my children. That's a vacation I never took. That's money that could have gone to my retirement, my home, and my peace of mind. I've given 15 years of my life to this institution, but only 14 are officially acknowledged. And when I filed a grievance and fought for what I had rightfully earned, I was told that I could have my 15th year only if I dropped my claim for retro pay. That's not just prejudicial, it's intimidating. This issue has hurt me beyond the financials. I've missed out on professional development opportunities and special assignments that I was eligible for but not considered because my records were inaccurate. It has affected my career, my future retirement, and my trust in the system that I've served so faithfully. Despite all this, I never stopped showing up for my students. I continue to give my very best every day, writing lessons, grading papers, listening to stories, helping students believe in themselves. But behind the scenes, I've been carrying the emotional toll of being undervalued, of sending email after email, losing sleep, and feeling invisible. And now I'm asking you, please make this right. First, I respectfully ask that my full 15 years of service be restored on record. Second, I ask the board, please approve retro pay to close this gap so I can find so I can finally be made financially whole. Finally, this isn't just about me, it's about fairness, it's about dignity, it's about trust in our system. If this can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. You have an opportunity today to send a powerful message that this board stands for integrity, that it honors those who serve it, and that it refuses to let dedication be overshadowed by bureaucratic error.
Your
By
time is up.
restoring my record and approving retro pay, you're not only correcting that administrative mistake, you are affirming the values we teach our students every day, that hard work is recognized, that injustice matters, and that people come before paperwork. Thank you. Thank you, Chancellor, for your continued support of adult education.
Garzina Meldutite.
Hello? All right, you can hear me, I guess. So good afternoon, trustees, chancellor, and colleagues in the administration. My name is Grace Moldutite. I'm an adult educator at Olive Harvey College, and I'm also a chief steward of AFSCME Local 3506. Every morning, adults walk into our classrooms believing that a GED, New English fluency, or a single bridge course can transform a family's future. For decades, faculty and administration have worked together to make City Colleges the Midwest hub of hope for our working as well as immigrant families. We set the rules of that partnership in a collective bargaining agreement, and one line anchors it. The parties shall discuss any grievances in an attempt to resolve it. Talk first, fix first, and most importantly, stay partners. Yet in the last 5 years, we have filed over 100 grievances. Do you want to take a guess how many of them got resolved or granted? 0. 0, not one. None were resolved on campus or at the district level. Many were denied even after the administration admitted a violation. Others drew no response at all. Then, facing arbitration and legal bills, the district often settles, paying extra fees, staff time, and retroactive wages that could have funded textbooks and tutoring. Delay doesn't defend the budget. Delay drains it. Delay may inflate egos, and it may even advance careers, but it doesn't help our students or our faculty. The current process not only incurs additional costs in terms of legal fees and retroactive wages, but also damages the trust, morale of our faculty and staff. Take my colleague, Kimberly Taylor, who has just given her speech. HR made a mistake, and despite Kimberly's continued inquiries all the way back to 2016 for an incorrect pay rate, they never fixed it. HR acknowledged the contract violation in writing, yet we've started the march. Another
You have 30
invoice,
seconds.
another headline, another blow to trust. This is not a solitary example. It's an ongoing condition. We ask for nothing beyond what you already ratified. Integrity, apply the CBA in letter and spirit. Accountability, resolve disputes promptly at the lowest level. Collaboration, sit with us, not across from us. Our students sit before us all. A simple directive from the board
Time
can
is up.
reset the culture. From today, grievances will be answered within the contract's timeline, and solutions will be sought before subpoenas are served. That one act will save money, lift morale, and show every learner that civics we teach are the civics we practice. Thank you.
Paul Buckner.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, trustees, chancellors, and administrators. I'm Paul Buckner. I'm a adult educator, instructor at Olive Harvey College, and a proud member of Local 3506, and also a union steward as well. Every day, we welcome Chicagoans who need a second chance. People determined to earn a GED, master the English language, and improve their families' lives. They trust us. We deliver. Yet the institution that praises our commitment is failing to match it. We're not being paid accurately, period. This is not a matter that can be delayed or brushed aside. It requires immediate action to be solved. Hours we taught, missing. Prep, professional development time, missing. Vacation and sick balance, sick balance, wrong. Years of service and step increase, misimplied. Benefits, delayed, or even absent. This is not just one glitch, it's systematic. At Olive Harvey and across the district, educators will now have to audit their own paycheck. Some have lost even 1/3 of their pay. The difference between rent, eviction, groceries, and even an empty refrigerator, medication, and gone without. The unusual response, we'll fix it next pay period. But 2 weeks is too late. Bills don't wait. Children's needs don't wait. Our students definitely don't wait. We're asking for extra. We're demanding the basic respect. Just accuracy on on-time pay for work already done. This is not a paperwork issue. This is a respect problem. Respect for our time, our labor, and the commitment to our communities that we serve. Board members, you have the power to end this today. We need we need to audit the payroll system immediately. Assign a rapid response team to correct errors, not within 48 hours, not 14
30
days.
seconds.
Meet with our union leadership and report back publicly. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Thank you.
George Rombanus.
Good afternoon. President Nunkins, trustees, administrators. By the way, gracias por vestir de verde los colores de mi sindicato. The board got my back. I forgot to wear my green, but thank you. It means a lot. Chancellor, your words meant a lot. There is a commitment to adult education. I appreciate Carla getting back to me as soon as possible regarding a commitment to the CBA despite the freezing of the funds. I appreciate Mark for meeting within few hours after the announcement to reiterate the commitment to adult education. I appreciate his effort and time. I have with me a letter one of our teachers wrote to me after she heard the news. Her name is Marilyn Costantino. She's an adult educator at Daly College. She says, when I read the headline, White House freezes adult education funds, I felt as I've been punched in the gut. I knew this was likely coming. After all, one of Trump's campaign promises was to get rid of the Department of Education. His supporters will cheer when he said this, just like they went wild when he said he was bringing back tariffs. Still, Seeing that headline was a shock. I have been an adult educator for the past 2 decades. Cutting funding is not just cutting my job, it is cutting a lifeline for my students. She says, when I first started teaching in an adult education classroom, I had a 17-year-old that I had already read basically everything I had brought into the classroom. I would hand out an obscure short story and he'd give me a summary of it. He was quiet, polite, and seemed to have a poet's soul. One day he trusted me enough to tell me why he had read so much. I spent a lot of time in solitary. I didn't have anything else to do but read. The kid was 17. Then there was the harried mom that would email me essays after she got home from work long after midnight. She had kids about my age, so we often shared parenting stories before the class started. One day she described to me the locks on the doors where she was held prisoner as a sex trafficking victim. I've had countless students with undiagnosed learning problems that were simply failed by traditional schools.
You have 30 seconds left.
One of these students was frequently homeless as a child and physically and sexually abused by her mother's boyfriends. She describes in an essay etched into my mind how her classmates and even teachers will bully her because her clothes were unwashed and often smelled. Because of adult ed, the student now has a 4-year degree and a great job. There's been much in the news of late about Republicans mandating posting
Your time is up.
commandments in schools. Perhaps our society would be better served if politicians were required to post the words of Jesus in their offices. Whatsoever you do to the least among us, you do to me. I hope, Reverend, you also take that spirit in the board and with the administration. These are difficult times for us. I heard my brothers and sisters from the adjuncts. I think for the institution to survive as a lifeline to our communities and to continue the effort to support, working families, immigrant families, is time for us to really work together. There's many things to argue about, many things to disagree about, but obviously, just starting with your statements today, sir, there's much we can work on together. I ask the board, I ask my good friend here to give me 1 second. And I ask the administrators, just do the best to see how much better we can do together. And let's also find time later to fight, okay? Thank you very much.
Adrian Robotham.
Hello, board members. I just want to say my name is Adrian Robotham. I'm a student here at Harold Washington College. This is my 3rd semester. And that context is important to my issue that I bring here today. And it's regarding the need for on-campus food options for Harold Washington students. Currently, Harold Washington is the only city college that has no on-campus meal options for students. Daly, Dawson, Kennedy, Malcolm X, Olive Harvey, Truman, Wright, all have meal options on campus. And it's already through an existing program called FUDA that exists, that these meals are being served to these schools. And so I'm here asking if that program could be expanded to Harold Washington to provide meals to students. There was a survey that was done by our student-led journal, The Herald, that surveyed over 500 students and found that many of them, I think over 60% of them, faced food insecurities. And with this sort of data and information, especially with the contributions that our federal government is making to reducing SNAP benefits, it's an urgent need that students feel that their school that they're coming to and spending so much time has meal options on campus. I'm gonna assume the circumstance that, we never had food options was due to our location being, centralized in the city. But a lot of the inflationary pricing in the city of Chicago is outrageous. I mean, if students were to actually pay out of pocket to eat, in the city every day, it would be outrageous. So I'm just asking if that could be something that's prioritized and done, efficiently. I brought this up, last semester to, President Lopez. I'm not sure what progress has been made, but I just want to reiterate the importance now, than ever with our federal government, snapping the support we have at home, So it would be nice to have the, support from our school, and I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the request to speak.
Thank you to all the speakers. Today, there will not be a faculty council report. Trustee Sanchez, please proceed with the committee report.
Good afternoon. Apologies, one second. Good afternoon. In the committee meeting today, CFO Maribel Rodriguez gave a report and presentation on the fiscal year 26 preliminary budget. CFO Rodriguez explained that the work is guided by a 5-year strategic framework based on equity. The goals included creating an exceptional student experience, becoming a student-ready, equitable institution, developing and strengthening the pathways that are responsive to the economic needs of the city, and building a culture of excellence by creating a collaborative and connecting network where they monitor and ensure the financial sustainability and overall health of CCC. After reviewing the fiscal year 26 budget priorities and fiscal year 26 tentative budget, CFO Rodriguez gave an update on the CCC cash position. We also reviewed the minutes, resolutions, excluding resolution 1.09, election of officers, which was reviewed and voted on at the regular board meeting, personnel report, resource development report, agreements, purchases, and legal invoices included on today's Finance and Administrative Services agenda as part of the consent agenda to this July 10, 2025 regular board meeting. Chair Nukas, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Sanchez. We will now proceed to consider the items on the July 10th, 2025 consent agenda. This month, all items for board action are on the consent agenda, which is printed on the paper that can be picked up outside this room. I would note again for the record that these items were discussed in detail in the committee meeting preceding the board meeting, as noted by Trustee Sanchez during his committee report. Does any trustee have questions or comments on any of the items listed on the consent agenda or wish for separate action on any of these items? May I have a motion to approve the minutes, resolutions, excluding Resolution 1.09, personnel report, research development report, agreements, purchases, and legal invoices contained in the consent agenda and identified as part of the printed agenda on a single roll call vote?
A motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing no nays, the motion carried. Thank you. Will the chief advisor please call the roll?
Chair Nukas?
Approved.
Vice Chair Hatch?
Approved.
Secretary Lee?
Approved.
Trustee Sanchez?
Approve.
Trustee Hightower? Approved. Trustee Meringue Patterson?
Approved.
Student Trustee Dion?
Approved.
Also for the record, Resolution 1.09, which was read earlier, the date was stated as July 13th. The date is July 10th, 2025.
Thank you all. Let the record show that the minutes, resolutions, personnel report, research development report, agreements, purchases, and legal invoices, except for Resolution 1.09 included on the printed July 10th, 2025 consent agenda, have all been approved. There are no matters for closed session, therefore we will not convene today in closed session. Okay. There being no further business to come before the board, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Here no nay, the motion carried. We are adjourned.